Hi, and welcome to this week's edition of The Buzz. I'm Todd Jadin with my co-host, Kelly Polk. So today, Kelly, we're going to talk about a couple of things. We kind of set it up last week, and now that the week is over with Field Associate Appreciation Days, we'll kind of talk about next steps in that regard. And we're a week into our Associate Satisfaction Survey. So why don't we start with that before we get back to Associate Appreciation. And really what we're going to look for is your participation in the Satisfaction Survey, because we got off to a bit of a slow start on the driver's side.
A little bit slow start, but the survey is an important tool for us. It's an opportunity for the drivers certainly to provide us feedback. And what we do with that is we a lot of actionable items comes out of that whole process. And so, there are a number of ways you could get to it. It's on Crossroads, so you could click on the link. It takes about 5 minutes. Same survey that you and I took. So it goes pretty quickly. Opportunity to provide us some additional commentary through the comments field, certainly. But Crossroads, or there are paper surveys. What we did is implemented a paper survey process. So if you go to some of our major locations, at the fuel desk, you'll see either an independent contractor survey or a company driver survey with some envelopes. The idea is, take the survey, stuff for the envelope. Driver services will bundle that and get that shipped off. But we really value the feedback. We're really one of the few carriers left that really asks for this, and so to the extent that you can participate, certainly appreciate it.
Yeah, and so we look forward to your participation. Go out. Fill it out via the online tool, or as Kelly indicates, via paper. But we need your feedback. So,
and it's open till the 20th, so still have time to.
Yep.
But don't wait. Get after it. We look forward to your feedback.
Good. And speaking of feedback, that's really a great opportunity for us when we go out and do associate appreciation in the field. And so I happen to be able to get out to the Indianapolis OC last week, and so got some great feedback. One of the first things, so I walked into the operating center, and in the operating center there, Greg Russell kind of plays the Buzz on the flat screen there, and I ran into one of our new drivers, and he looked at me and he said, "Hey, you're the guy from TV," and I said, "Yeah," I said, "That's me," and then he said, the first time I've ever heard it in my life, he said, "You're taller than I thought." And now, all 5'8" of me on a good day has never heard that before. So, actually, thank you for saying I'm taller than I look on TV. So, that's how my feedback session started when I walked into the operating center. But then, really had a great opportunity just to spend time with our office associates at Indy, spent time up at Aurora Parts in Lebanon, and then was able to get outside and enjoy some of the food. Food vendor, by the way, in Indianapolis, doing a great job.
Great.
So got a lot of positive feedback on that. But then really just kind of talk about some of the things that are going through people's minds. I was joined by an individual by the name of Shalene Devgun, who is in our IT organization. And you can trust, there was a lot of feedback for Shalene on workflow. And the other really neat thing was Shalene had an opportunity to be able to sit through the training class where workflow was taught, so he can see what the end user experience is in the tool that he's responsible for from an IT standpoint. So I think a really good experience for him.
I had lunch with Shalene yesterday at an event you and I were both part of, and he was so complimentary of the experience. Here's a guy, spends a lot of time in Green Bay. He's an IT guy, and not that there's anything wrong with that, but it doesn't get out a lot. And he just had a great experience hanging out with drivers and getting that perspective. So, from Shalene, thank you. He had a great. But Appreciation Days is one of those things that we're unique. Again, we do a lot of that, and we've been doing it for a long period of time. And the idea is really just to kind of slow the fleet down for a few days out of the year and just say, hey, thank you. You are the best in the industry. You do a great job. And working together in a very collaborative way, we're able to identify a lot of opportunities and get after fixing some of the challenges that are frustrating to us. So, yeah, it's a great experience. I spent time in the Chicagoland area, so didn't get the full exposure, but boy, there's nothing more satisfying than really being close to our folks.
I didn't get to see this firsthand because I actually got to Indianapolis on Wednesday versus Tuesday. Mm-hmm. But on Tuesday at the IndyOC, the John Deere tractor was awarded to a 27-year veteran of Schneider. And the individual who received it was just, quite frankly, overwhelmed by the fact that he was the recipient, indicated that he had never won anything in his life and was just excited as all get out to have won this riding lawnmower. And it just so happened that Chris Lofgren and Steve Matthews were on site at Indy at that particular time and were able to present it to that driver.
Cool.
And so really a neat experience. Folks were talking about it. It was still kind of buzzing around when I, no pun intended, when I got there on Wednesday morning. So just a really great time. I appreciate the feedback. So you understand kind of the process now is all of the leaders who traveled to the field, and there were roughly 75 to 80 people that were out in the field from Green Bay at touching 96 different locations. Mm-hmm. We're accumulating the information and feedback that was provided. We aggregate that, and then we work with the respective lines of business to put together action plans to address some of those things, knowing full well that we're able to address some of them more readily or easily than others, but we capture all of that information, and that's why feedback is really important, and why we're looking for even more through the associate satisfaction survey.
So, well, great news. Well, so thank you for a great event. Look forward to certainly taking the feedback, doing some things with it. Again, as Todd said, the survey is an important extension of that, and so look forward to you participating in that program as well.
And without going into a lot of detail, because I just don't want to recreate every driver conversation I had, let me just talk a little bit about some themes I heard out there.
Sure.
First of all, I think the overall kind of mood was pretty positive. Demand is pretty decent, so we're keeping people moving, which is certainly good news. What was really good news is the weather in Indianapolis was, although there was some rain on Wednesday, Thursday was a beautiful day.
Yeah.
And when you compare it to the winter we went through, I think people are a bit relieved that winter is behind us. So we had some conversation about weather and the like. But new equipment, tractors, trailers coming in, heard some good things about what's going on in maintenance, in particular in Indy. So good work by Keith Weaver and his crew in Indy. So felt good about that feedback. And then there's some opportunities that exist out there for us to get better. Mm-hmm. And so we talked about where those opportunities lie, and it's everything from the dispatch process to how do I understand the bonus program, help me with this new MPG standard, and so just a variety of things that we've captured information on, and our job now is to collect that, aggregate it, and get back out and do something about it. So more to come in that regard.
Yeah, sounds good. All right.
That's it.
I'm out of bullets.
Okay. Take care. Drive safe.
See you next time.